Let's talk about that upside potential on the big tech names over the next week. How great is it?
So I think the big thing to watch here is not what happened in the first quarter. I mean, we want to see some monetization on AI. We want to see constructive guidance on AI. But I really think it's going to be the tone from management. You guys were talking about Tesla a moment ago, and I think this was the critical thing turning the stock price there, is that it sounds like there's a plan. And I think there's been a lot of good news priced into a lot of the big tech companies. But this is a chance to really kind of show me, what does the rest of 2024 look like? How are we thinking about AI spending? What does customer demand look like? And then we can go from there.
Are you saying we need a C-suite therapy session on earnings calls?
Yeah, we need to see a constructive, happy face from all of these leaders. By the way, a funny bit, we've talked about this before, but we always want to listen to CEOs and say they're kind of the strategists, they're the ones thinking big picture. But it's also really, really important to listen to the CFOs, who tend to get really down into the dirt. And so I'm going to be listening to both, for both the strategy as well as the hard data.
Will happy talk work for the likes of Meta or even Alphabet, given how much the shares have gained so far this year?
I think we've taken some pressure off of those stocks in recent weeks as, some prices have come down, and we've seen kind of growth in general as a factor fade a little bit since the end of the first quarter. That said, they really do need to deliver, I think. These are well-owned names. They're well-loved names. They're names that are expected to really lead the market, not just through 2024, but through the rest of this cycle. So I think it's possible for them to get people excited, but we recognize that they're well-held, well-owned going into reporting.
Moving outside of big tech, your idea here is a really fascinating one, that the biggest risk is upside risk,
right,
that we actually get better than expected earnings data, and that could fuel a rally among a lot of pessimism still out there. Yeah. Why do you think that's the biggest upside risk at a time where it seems like there's still a lot of bullish sentiment right now?
So I think it's about the mechanics of how we get to the bottom line that really matter here. And in this case, I want everyone to have some confidence in U.S. companies doing the right thing, continuing to manage their costs, continuing to manage their labor force, thinking really long and hard about where they're putting their dollars in each businesses so that they can really deliver on earnings. Even in an environment where revenue growth is just okay, and I think we've heard that from some of the companies that have reported so far, it's really the bottom line I want to see companies deliver on. And we saw, actually, since the earnings recession ended, that this focus on cost control and this focus on delivering earnings has been front and center.